So it's been about a month with this cheese waxing experiment. I've looked around online and got wide variety of opinions on whether you can and cannot wax cheese and how it works. So just a quick summary with this cheese. I dipped it in a little bit of white vinegar and then I waxed it, dipped it in wax about 10 times. A bit more on these ones because they ended up cracking because of the plastic. But these cheese blocks here have been stored down in my root cellar, which is quite a bit cooler, and there's a big difference between these and these blocks of cheese because these were stored up in the house just in a cupboard, and there's a big difference. So I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but these are actually quite white on top because the cheese has sagged down a little bit and it's a bit fatter on the bottom. You can see that they're quite misshapen compared to these, which look, honestly, this one looks, this one I did not rotate. This one I was rotating. I can't tell the difference between this one and the day that I waxed it. It looks just the same. This one that I have been rotating actually looks like the wax is pulled away a little bit from the cheese. I think that could be because the rotation process pulled the wax back and forth. When I removed it, it pulled the wax away from the cheese over and over again, and it kind of stuck that way. So there's a little bit of, looks like kind of air bubbles in here. I'm not sure if it's actually air or maybe some sort of oil, but this one that I haven't rotated doesn't look like it has any pooling or anything like that. This one I'm not going to be opening because I really want to see how long it can be to go for and how long it'll work. But I will be opening up one of these guys. This plastic really stuck to the cheese because it just sticks to it much worse than the glass does. So I definitely recommend storing this in a root cellar with glass to keep it from sticking. But I'm going to go ahead and open one of these up. We're going to take a look at it, and I'll get you guys some up-close shots of this cheese. And I'm going to give it a taste test, have my wife taste test it as well, and we'll see how much it tastes like cheddar cheese still. It's extremely soft, that's for certain. It's got a hole in it, in the middle. I'm not certain if that was there before or if it's developed recently. Might slice this up a bit more. It definitely has some oil that's dripping out of here. Not a surprise with the separation of the wax on the outside of this. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. Let's take a look at this wax before I taste test it. It is much softer, obviously, than any store-bought cheese, freshly store-bought cheese. This is store-bought cheese. This was just mild cheddar before. It really doesn't look much darker or anything like that compared to the other one. But yep, there's another tiny little hole over here. So it could be that had some more activity inside of it and it aged a bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and slice off a little bit of this and we'll give it a taste test. Just a small piece, really just to feel the texture and the taste of it. It doesn't smell rancid or anything like that. I'll give my wife a little piece.
It's gooey.
Yeah, it is quite gooey. It just tastes like sharp cheddar to me.
Just like the texture is different.
Yeah.
Wow, that's way sharp.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with just that little piece in case somehow there's something wrong with this. So that's all I'm gonna eat for now. But the texture was just like warm cheese. From the store, yeah, you'd agree with this.
That was exactly what it was like.
Yeah, it's just like warm cheese from the store. It is a little bit misshapen. If you look at this, it's a bit more round because it looks like it contracted somehow, but also bulged out. You know, it just rounded. I'm interested by these holes in here. I'm gonna leave this guy here, and we'll give this a couple hours before I do anything with it. All right, I want to give you guys some close-ups on this cheese. So here's some of the cheese that we pulled apart. You can kind of see the sheen of the oil on there, and kind of a little pockmarked on the outside. That could be, I'm not sure if this is the one that I dropped by accident. Let me pull up this other guy here. the plastic just sticks horribly. I'm not certain which one of these is the one I cooked a little bit. It does look like all the sides are kind of showing that pockmarked. So you can see here with the hole in the cheese, it goes quite a bit of distance into there. You can kind of see the curds in here. I didn't notice the curd texture being any more distinct than it would normally be in cheese, other than that it was warm, because that does have a little bit, quite an effect on the consistency of the cheese. There's some, you can see how thick the wax was on this. We had a lot of wax on this. I might just go ahead and chill this in the fridge in Tupperware, and then tomorrow, if I don't get sick at all, then I'm going to give it a bit more of it a taste, and we'll see how that goes. But I think just that small little bite should be enough for now. So, so far I would call this a success. This seems to work really well, especially with the root cellar. The colder temperatures seem to have made a huge difference, and I'm betting that this is going to last much longer and not have so much of the oil pulled out. It's still plenty moist in the middle, don't you think?
Oh yeah, not dried out at all.
Yeah, it's not dried out at all. It's got plenty of oil in there. So that wax really sealed the oil in, even though that these did crack and so a little bit of oil came out, but they still seem to taste just fine. Thanks for watching.